Hello, welcome in, friends. We are starting our channel. We got my name's Sophie. I have my friends Ashley and Eric here, and we are
Hey.
huge
Hi.
true crime fans. Say hi again.
Hi.
We love to chat about true crime, and we thought we would start chatting with y'all. Why not? Let's do this.
Not like we haven't before, right?
Yeah, we do this all the time. Every day we get together and we talk about true crime. So we thought we should talk about true crime with you guys, with everybody else too.
We're
You want
laughing, but it's like so serious. It's you know,
to?
serious cases. We're like, yay, we love true crime. But we do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
woo!
Yeah, yay.
We're
And
trying.
we
We don't
picked
know.
and we picked a case today. We picked a case.
We
We've
did
been
pick a case,
posting.
and we're pushing through this case. We don't know what we're doing yet, but we're gonna figure it out.
I think it's a crazy start because it's not our usual type of thing. Like we usually follow like killings that are not something that the news covers really, like Idaho or Delphi or like Karen Reed. But this one, I don't know. It's interesting because it's ongoing. So we just thought we'd jump in, right?
Yeah, because it's too interesting. It's like there's so many questions, and there's zero answers except for a photo. We have a photo.
We have a photo, and the girls are going nuts over the photo.
Apparently,
Girls,
this
the
man,
girls love the smiling photo.
he's very
Okay, so it's
handsome.
the CEO murder, right? That's the one we're covering.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
going over CO murder. I mean, I think that we can go over any of the stuff we're following because we're following all the things, is how I feel.
Yeah.
We're
Exactly.
trying to tailor it down right now to the CEO being shot because that's why. And there are some wild stuff going on. And I've talked to pretty much like aficionado on guns who gave
Yeah, I
me
want to hear about
information.
that. So you talked to an expert today. You have like kind of an idea from what I gathered before the show. You have kind of an idea of like, is it a professional hit or is it not a professional hit? And we're going to kind of talk about that part and discuss it. Also, they found a backpack today in Central Park, and we're
Yep.
going to discuss that. And we're also going to go over just like case details that aren't being talked about in mainstream news and sort of like the way people are feeling about this case because it's weird because obviously there's a victim. That's so sad. We hate when people are murdered, but also he was like kind of a terrible person, right?
Right. Which is kind of a weird feeling when you're like, kind of like, of course, none of this, nobody should be unalived or whatever we're supposed to say on here, but it
A
is
lot of people do think this guy's a hero, though,
right.
because of the way healthcare systems treat people.
Right. And they said, from what I read earlier, it looked like what he wrote on the bullets are words that are like common in healthcare denial letters.
Yes, it's part of a book. It's part of a book that is out at the moment, and there's a lot of like people thinking that this guy's a hero, and he's taking a stand, and he's like against the rich, and if it was to ever go to court, he would like totally get off because people can relate to that feeling, you know?
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Do you guys think he would get off?
I don't
There
think he'd get off, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you're gonna find the right jury to get him off. But I mean, United Healthcare does turn down 32% of applicants, which is very high. So you can see why there could be some animosity towards them.
Yeah. And that was wild to me, what we saw earlier, that the AI program that they use is wrong.
Yeah. And
What
the
was it?
fact that
Oh
they're
yeah,
even using an AI program to override doctors, like that to me is just bananas because I know AI is right on a lot of things, but AI misses a lot and you can't use it for healthcare. I mean, you can, but not when you're combing over like a very particular case. And I was watching a bunch of TikToks and they're denying people like colonoscopies and like basic health care, right? And there were people really like passionate about it. So I had no idea that you guys had this type of discourse in America. Like I kind of know it's a problem, but I didn't know how like rampant it is and how like people were cheering on the killer. Like that actually kind of surprised me. Like
Yeah.
you don't really see that all that much, but then digging in a little deeper, I'm like, oh my God, this guy's using a robot to deny people's healthcare claims. That's nuts.
Right. And at the same time, you can't just because I know like CEO guys in charge of everything, whatever. Do you think that guy picked that computer program? Do you think that guy has anything to do with that part of the business?
I think as a CEO, you're accountable. That's what I
No,
think.
for sure. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I didn't mean
Yeah.
that he wasn't accountable. I just mean, do you think when those processes were happening, when they're like, what AI program should we use? Who should we hire to create whatever program that we're going to use that's going to accept or deny applicants? Because whoever wrote the program to me is the problem.
No, but he could say we don't use a program. We, we
Yeah.
take calls and we go through it the right way.
Right.
Treat people like peoples, not just a phone call that it's talking to a robot. Like
Right.
these are human beings who need help, and we're just playing it off like we don't like they're nobody.
And I don't know about other insurance companies percentage wise, like that might be something to
The
like.
average, no, the average is like a 16% um, rate that gets turned down, and
And
this is
this
double that. United
This
is
is
double.
double.
It's
Holy.
it's 32%.
And he was
I
also a
mean,
part of a federal investigation for insider trading, which is like
yeah,
giant shocker.
yes,
Like rich people are insider trading, but
yeah,
and he's separated from his wife. I've heard a lot of people say the whole writing on the bullets was kind of misdirection because maybe the wife was set that up and made it look like a disgruntled person, but
right.
it's not a disgruntled person. It's actually like an inside job. There's a lot of that talk, and then you've got stuff about the bullets and like is he a professional or is he not? I'm curious about that because you talked to someone today, right? Or a couple
Yeah,
people.
yeah. I talked to the our expert, who I hope we get to talk to again. Like, hopefully, we're going to talk to him on the show because I have so many questions because I don't know enough about guns. So his explanation today, because I say, is this guy? Do you think this guy's an assassin? Because I saw that the first time I saw it, I think this guy's an assassin, and then just first thing I think, and
Mhm.
then you hear, then I think these people have a lot of money. His white wife and him getting divorced, she could be out there with her money paying somebody to go in and pretend to do all these things, and all of this could be red herring.
Right.
And
you know what I
then
heard today?
what?
That I seen an article that said maybe he put the hit out on himself because of the stress.
Oh,
I mean, put a pin in that. Yeah. I mean,
I
yeah.
did. I read
that would
that.
be
I read
wild.
that today.
Yeah, I
I
bet.
like it. I
Mhm.
hope his.
Newsweek put it out.
Oh,
Oh, reliable. That's that's dumb, right? Like we don't think he should killed himself.
I don't think he's
No, I
killing
don't think
himself.
that, but I'm just saying. But anything is that's what kind of stuff comes out.
Well, and we guess, and at the same time, like I always say, anything's possible.
Yeah.
Truly, it's possible. That is a possibility. We don't have enough of any information. The
No.
information about him being an assassin or not was funny. So the person I talked to is an expert on guns. No,
Yeah, let's get back to the bullet. Yeah.
yeah, I was a little bit surprised because I don't know these things. So like he explained to me what the bullet actually is and what the shell casings are, which I mean, I'm not I'm not dumb, but he was like, I'll explain it to you this way. Like, and he explained to me how the bullet is like this tiny little piece. It's the tip of that whole bullet is just the actual bullet. So like the shell casing itself that he wrote on, not the bullet. Like somebody was saying on one of the things I was watching earlier that he wrote on the bullet, but he didn't write on the bullet. The bullet's a little tiny piece. He wrote on the shell casing. So then he was saying like there that was the weird thing, right? It was like the video's so grainy that he can't see the gun. None of us can see the gun. But the main thing he noticed was that the guy, when the gun jammed, purposeful or not, the way he moved. And this is something like if I had the video to pull up right this moment, I would pull it up and we would go over it and do it all slow so we could see it. Because he is explaining it like the man shot the first bullet and then his gun jammed. But he's got a silencer on the gun. And he said from the graininess of the thing, he can't tell, but there's another piece that goes on to the silencer, and it's called a Nielsen device or a booster. And there was another term that my brother called it that I did not write down, and I'll figure that out. But he was saying that because when you add the silencer onto the gun, it changes the weight of the end of the gun. So when you're shooting the bullet out of it, it's going to change the way the bullet comes out because you have that added weight on the end. So you add this other piece to take away from that. And the other piece,
he brings it back to normal.
Brings it back to normal. And he says, and it also makes it so it's even a little bit quieter. And he said he probably used, I'm going to say supersonic. I think I might be using the wrong word. Supersonic bullets because they're even quieter. And so he would be shooting these quiet bullets with the silencer to be even quieter in the city because even with a silencer, your gun makes noise.
But it isn't totally silent. It isn't totally quiet. It's still a little pop. Yeah.
Totally. He said it's not like the movies at all. There's still sound. The reason the bullet makes sound is because it breaks the sound. It breaks the sound barrier.
The sound barrier.
We are gonna have
so that's
so
the
many
sound
comments.
you're hearing.
We're gonna have so many comments from gun experts. They're gonna be like, "You guys have no idea what you're talking about."
Oh, I know. Somebody's gonna correct me.
It's gonna be so funny, but I mean, to me it's fascinating. Obviously, like we don't have a lot of guns here. I'm in Canada, and now you said to me something earlier about why one particular guy that you spoke to today said that he was not an assassin. What was that again?
Yeah, that was interesting. So he said one person said that was probably an assassin. The other one said it wasn't. And he said that was not an assassin. No professional assassin is going to go up and shoot somebody on the side of the street. A professional assassin is going, like we've seen, if we think of Russian people who've been like poisoned and ricin and all those things that have been like people being poisoned and like killed, and we know about it because they were like spy people that we found out that have been poisoned, and like spies, he said, are not going to kill somebody right there on the street because of that fact that like New York City, a bullet's noise is detected with that silencer or without it, and it will bring the police there within minutes, seconds. I don't know what the time frame is, and somebody will probably tell us. And so he said he was probably using these bullets that are a little bit lighter and quieter also. But he said a professional assassin wouldn't have killed somebody right in front of other people and all those things. Like it wouldn't have been so blatant.
See, and I was
thinking more of a man on a mission.
Yeah, I was thinking more like the mob, like how John Gotti and those guys, like they killed people right on the street in New York. But I guess that's different because it's organized crime, right?
Yeah.
And they shoot him in the back too.
Yeah, and that is this is technically organized crime. This is the insurance business.
Right. I mean, I was watching Police Off the Cuff, shout out to them. And they had like cops on talking about it, and they said like a professional would normally do 2 in the body, 1 in the head. That's what they said.
Yep.
The leg is strange. The leg is a strange place to shoot someone, but maybe he didn't intend to. Maybe it just hit his
Well, that
leg.
makes me think he was more of an amateur too. Like his first shot wasn't, he wasn't
I'm
used to the gun, the coil of the gun. So
sure. I think that that guy went over that action because that was the other thing he explained that was really interesting was, and he called it manual of arms, and that is he said it's a military term of the protocol, like exactly how you would like shoot a gun, like what you would do each step that would you would do each step each time. And he said he the basic manual of arms would be to your gun got locked or misfired, whatever was happening there in between bullets. That's either, he said he couldn't tell from the video if it was purposeful or not. I believe that it was purposeful because he wrote on those spent shell or the non-spent shells that he dumped out of the gun. But like basically this, he didn't see the man do it. He saw the man instantly cock the gun again and shoot again. And he said that's no person that shoots a gun would ever do that. And then the next person I talked to after that guy, also a gun enthusiast, said the same thing. I noticed that he didn't check the gun after it misfired. And as somebody myself who doesn't know obviously anything about guns, that didn't even cross my mind. I didn't see it. I didn't notice it. It wasn't something I even saw. But both those men who knew what they were talking about, in my opinion, both saw the same thing.
so you're saying that the gun didn't misfire? That was just a shell popping back that you got to clear it till you can shoot again.
Yeah. That was him making it so that shell came out of
Falls to
the
the floor, and you could read what he had on it. Okay,
right. Because
I
that's
got
what
you.
my other question was, if you shoot the gun and it comes out, you know how we know guns have stripes, like striations, whatever it's called, when it comes out of the shot, the bullet comes through it and it leaves these marks that are specific just for that gun. He said that every gun that gets sold, I'm going to say legally, initially is shot so many times, and I believe he said 3 times or whatever, and those bullets are sent to the ATF for every single gun.
So they're
So I'm
accounted for.
just
They're accounted for by the registration number of the gun, and your name and my name are not the registration number. That registration number is its own thing.
Okay.
I'm just on X right now, and I was just reading like this guy Faxon.
Yeah.
He talks a lot about like the assassinations and whatnot, and he's like, this assassination of the United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson was has sparked a massive manhunt. The suspect captured on CCTV executed the attack with chilling precision, which is what everyone's saying, using a rare uh, like World War II spy gun and leaving behind cryptic messages on bullet casings. Authorities are urging anyone with information to come forward. Like a lot of the professionals, or at least the like New York police, are saying like he is like so precise, and this was executed so well. Like they were like really like talking him up. I mean, it's
Yeah.
interesting to
Well,
hear it.
that's because he got out of the city and they can catch him too. Makes him look bad if they say he's an amateur, but he escaped us.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Right. Right. No kidding.
That's true. That's true. He like lived in a hostel, and I mean, took a bus. The guy didn't have like, you'd think if you were bringing in an assassin, you'd be like, okay, you don't have to take public transportation. Like we'll bring you in.
We drop you from a helicopter.
Yeah.
So I'm saying like
Yeah.
day one, the cops they had on said he was a total amateur, but now he's been away. They haven't found him in 5 days. They're changing their tune because it makes him look bad. So I mean, the
Yeah.
way he did it, he looked kind of professional to me. But what do I
I
know?
thought
But
it looked super professional. That's why I was thought it was interesting that the person I spoke with today said that they did not think so at all. Because and again, I'm not a professional. How would I know?
Hmm.
it is kind of amazing, like what we see so often in television, movies and stuff, guns and silencers and all these things, and that's actually not really how most of that stuff is. So I
Okay,
get,
I'm gonna tell you a quick fact here.
please.
So United Healthcare is the world's eighth largest company in New York. Brian Thompson was CEO of United Healthcare. Mafia
Wait,
was
wait. Do you say world's largest company, period, stop, end? It wasn't world's largest insurance company.
world's eighth largest company. It just says, yeah. And
Wow. Okay, go on. Sorry.
okay, Brian Thompson was CEO. This United Healthcare mafia was notorious in fraud, declining healthcare coverage to U.S. citizens by 38%. They're
That's
giving us
even
a little
higher,
bit of
38.
a
So
different
who's
stat, but still really friggin' low. And like everybody's like cheering on this gunman. So I mean, yeah, I've got a stat here. They're at 32% um, claim rate denials by insurance companies. So Kaiser's the best at 7%, and denials by United is 32. So,
that's a massive difference.
And
mhm.
the average, I think, is 16. So, like, they're double
Yeah,
the average.
double the average. And the
That's
CEOs.
bad. That's really, really
And
bad.
but they're the eighth highest making money. So, yeah, that's.
So what do you think highest is? BlackRock. I'm gonna like so there's six in between those guys.
Um, yeah,
Mhm.
I've got a visual. We can post it in our community post for everybody. It's kind of just like the percentages of denials for people. But I mean, I
Yeah, I
think
seen that. Yeah, yeah.
people know that they're friggin' a mafia. I think that's a good way of putting it. And
Yeah.
then um so
You want to try and
pharmacy,
pull something up, Sophie?
yeah,
Yeah, if
that'd be
you want to
great.
send it to me, Ashley, I can try to see if I can pull it up.
You bet. I mean, it's just a graph, but like to me, I'm so visual. I do like to see stuff. So.
Sure. No, I like to see it. I want to see it. I'm interested. I mean, this is weird. How
We
many
spelled
times? How
we
many
spelled
times?
subscribe wrong.
This has got to be also. So if this guy is CEO of the eighth largest company in the world, this guy has got to be in those like top percentiles of people too, right? I mean, he's got to
Mhm.
be.
Like
So
the Forbes 500.
yeah, well, definitely, definitely. I assume, but I say definitely, and then I forget that other countries have some insanely wealthy people.
I put it in our super secret Discord main
Ah,
chat. Yeah.
Oh wow, you went to the archives.
oh, super secret. We'll find
Yeah,
it
we
if we.
gotta edit. Subscribe is spelled wrong on this. We gotta fix that.
So
It is spelt wrong. That's funny. I think I can fix it as we speak. Let's see.
subscribe
What?
or something like that, right?
It's
Sub
close.
The gun is a
subscribe.
BNT Station 6. It's integrally suppressed and has an action similar to a bolt action rifle. Every round must be manually cleared. So it was not a malfunction. That's what
Yeah,
this
Oh,
that's what
no,
he was. He was getting rid of the show. Yeah.
on purpose. He picked
hmm
that. Do you think he picked that gun on purpose?
Yeah,
In
because
the
he wanted
shotgun,
to leave it.
they pop out usually in a shotgun. Like you don't even gotta clear them; they'll just snap back.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's it. That just goes to show like this person wanted to leave. He didn't just want to kill him, he wanted to make a statement. And he's also not being like overly careful. He's being careful, but he's not being overly careful because he did leave his backpack behind. He also had that crazy backpack that was so identifiable. And do we know the contents of the backpack yet, guys?
Nope. Nope. They said that they don't know the context. I watched the news before we start talking, and they said there's backpack. They don't know, but that was the first thing I saw. When the other people are like, the first thing I noticed was he didn't do the motion and he didn't do this, or there's that specific gun or whatever. The first thing I noticed was the backpack because it looked weird.
He
It
had no
looks
regard. There were people around. There was a guy
that
right
back
next to him when he did it.
that backpack is a red herring. Whatever's in it, that's purposeful too. Because I Uh, I might be a backpack enthusiast. I have some backpacks. I do some searches on backpacks. I've looked at quite a few backpacks. It was just Black Friday. And that backpack that he had on was weird. That was the first thing I noticed about him when they had the first picture of him coming into the hotel or whatever his straight on picture is. That's the first thing I noticed was how weird that backpack is. And there's something about that purposeful backpack that's like a maybe 40 $60 backpack, maybe. That he with those the way it's built square like that, there's a
What'd you
reason.
say it was? What numbers?
What?
What were the numbers you were saying
The
about
price?
the what kind? Oh, the price.
I was just saying that's not an expensive backpack and it's not whatever, but there's a specific shape to it. There's a reason he has that backpack because
Well,
that is
I got the makings of that backpack, and it is an expensive backpack.
oh, it is. I'm
Yeah,
very wrong. How expensive is it?
like $300,
All right.
and
That's
it's
a
got
price.
compartments in it. No, I'm just saying. I looked it up. I put it in my Amazon.
Cool. Oh, that's awesome because I was trying to do a photo thing of it on my I was trying to find it on my phone to do a lens thing on my phone and it wouldn't pick it up. It kept picking up stuff around it.
I got it off of the news. They're the ones who gave the name and stuff.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that was an
That's where I
expensive
got that from.
backpack. I have seen that same shape of that style of backpack, relatively inexpensive for a bag,
And
but
they even said the sweatshirt is expensive. I don't know how they could figure that part out, but they were told. They said that
weird.
it was an expensive sweatshirt.
So,
Could you
okay, the biggest red flag I felt on day one for me on this case was the fact that NBC got a statement from the wife like right away. And she was saying, oh, yeah, he gets threats all the time. Like, he was getting like, she instantly talked to reporters, which is weird because usually like you'll reach out to the family for comments. You won't get a comment for days. When you do, it's something that a lawyer would have written. But it sounds like when I was watching JLR, they were saying that what a lot of reporters do is they'll actually change their phone number to make it look like something else, and then they'll text you and say emergency, please respond or please answer. And then when you do answer, that you kind of get put on the spot, and that's what kind of might have happened. But I also think it's interesting that she was so quick to give a comment and that they're separated.
That is interesting. And it's interesting, right? Because we always look at the spouse first. And it was her. It wasn't like her attorney. And these are like very efficient. Like she has an attorney. She probably has an attorney on staff.
I also seen he has a security guy in the past. He
Yeah.
has used security in the past.
Oh yeah, they were saying it was weird that he was by himself and that he wasn't with security, which I do think is strange because um this person, okay, so they said he came in 10 days prior to the shooting and he was staying at a hostel and he was definitely like watching for the right time. I'm shocked that there was no security at the Hilton, like, period, for all those guys. Like, maybe not specifically for him, but just like if there was like a bunch of CEOs cruising around, like you'd think that there would be some security.
Mm-hmm. 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 A
What do you
lot.
think the idea of it being an ex-employee,
Yeah. I
like
Oh,
mean,
someone who would know that meeting was going on and what time it was?
what's interesting about this case is it's so funny because there's so many people with motives. Like, there's so many people with motives. Literally, all you need to do is like look up this guy's name online, like on like X or like TikTok, and everyone has a story about being denied, coverage. And imagine if somebody denied coverage to your family, how you'd feel about
Your
that,
child.
right?
yeah. No, I can't. I can't imagine. It's insanity.
We all seen John Q.
Do you think they're gonna find the guy?
Yeah, I think they'll find him.
Oh, they're
They'll find
definitely
him.
going to find him. The facial recognition find him, right? They already know who it is, in my opinion.
I'm
Whatever that.
surprised like that they didn't already.
Yeah, me too.
A few people have said they probably already have them, but they're just not releasing it. I mean,
Awesome.
$10,000 for a reward is from the FBI. Like, come on, that's kind of low.
Yeah, it's
I
not
wonder if
very
he has a
much. I
hit.
know. I thought that too. I actually thought the same thing. Why is it not that much? This I would have thought.
You think he has a hit list?
That would be wild if another CEO got killed. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, will you
yeah,
just pick one? There's probably a few people he doesn't like.
yeah.
And
Oh
and
man,
that probably 50 other million people don't like too.
yeah.
Sure.
I mean, that's it's a movie in and of itself, right? Because you could just
Yeah.
sprout off of that. Like, does he have a hit list? Well, of course. I
The
mean,
public isn't scared of this guy.
at
No,
all.
he's not
You
going
know
to
what I
shoot.
mean? He's not your average killer that went and killed somebody for a day. The public
He
is not scared of him. He's
he
like,
didn't.
that's
He
what's
could
pretty
have
innocent.
shot the person standing there. They said there was a witness, right? There was somebody standing
Oh,
right by the guy who got shot, who took off.
two
Somebody
feet
right.
away, literally 2 feet away. He could have grabbed the guy if he wanted to.
Yeah,
Interesting. Have you
but he
guys
I'm
seen the
didn't.
saying he's not
photos
your.
of the backpack that was found? It looks like two completely different colors.
Does it?
Oh, I haven't seen the
No, I
photo.
didn't see it. No, I didn't.
What color is it? Because the one in the photo to me looked like a grayish tan.
Yeah,
Did
yeah,
you?
that's what I got from
Like
it
it's
too.
like light gray, and then the one found looks kind of bluish. But I think it's weird that he would just leave it laying around, and weirder still that like nobody else found it or took it. Like, don't people take everything in New York? Eric, you're from New York.
Yeah,
Yeah, you tell us.
yeah, yeah. If it has value to it, they'll take it.
Like a
Like a $200
$300
bag.
backpack laying
Especially
around.
if you threw it in Central Park where there's a lot of
Yeah.
homeless and stuff. Like that's kind of a score.
It's a huge score. A backpack? That's a huge score. I think the backpack is a red herring. That's what I'm saying. Who knows what's in it? But if he ditched it that easily and whatever, and it could have DNA on a snap or
Yeah,
something.
on
um,
the buckle swab.
yeah, they should send it to
He
off
didn't
of.
wear gloves. Did you know that? He wasn't wearing gloves.
Oh. Yeah, and they have his hostel room too. I mean, he was there what, 10 days? So, I mean, one would think even if he's not in the system, what we know from like the Koberger case, Brian Koberger is like that 30 or what's that, 21 and Me, or those
23.
23 and me.
ancestry. Yeah, those
IGG.
ancestry. Yeah, those ancestry DNAs. I mean, you never know who's in the system, right? Um,
Yeah.
so it's interesting. I mean, they'll definitely have a lot more DNA with this guy than they would with somebody else because they can track where he came from. He took a bus from Atlanta. He stayed at a hostel for 10 days. They have his backpack. They have his face from
You have you have to have a card of some kind to rent that scooter thing.
Yeah. Yep. That
right.
bicycle. That
Hmm.
e-bike.
Yeah, you have to digitally rent it or have some card number someplace. Even if you bought a card that's a Visa, blah blah blah, without your name on it, it's still going to get back to you being the purchaser.
Would it take 7 weeks to catch Kohlberger?
This I can't believe. I honestly was blown away this morning to wake up that they don't have this guy.
Yeah, me too.
I
But
mean, there was somebody in our comments, which, hey, that's awesome. I like when people comment on stuff because I'm
Yeah, that was cool. I
like,
wish we did get to have this discussion with the commenters. Sorry, go on.
I know, right? But there was
Yeah.
well,
somebody that was
they'll watch
saying,
this and comment on it.
Hopefully,
yeah,
yes. Please do, y'all. Please do.
comment because we're probably so off so many times. But there was someone in the comments saying it's different people, like the photos are different people, and it seems to
What?
me that a lot of people are saying that. Yeah,
That
they
would not be a bad idea.
The
But then
coloring
that
is all
guy,
screwed up.
here's the
The
problem.
coloring is screwed up,
Here's
is
the problem.
different.
If that guy's a different guy, how's he going to prove he's not the guy that shot him?
yeah. I
How
mean,
is he going to prove to a jury that that is not the man that you see later with the gun? Or opposite? How are they going to prove to a jury that that is
Well, they
definitely
need.
the other guy? He's got a face
That's why they
mask.
need the backpack and the DNA.
Right. And
So
how
they're
do you know
saying
there's not 8 other people walking around with that same outfit on in New
so
York?
I looked it up, and the big
Uh-huh.
discrepancy that people are saying is it's likely two different people because the straps are different colors. The
Okay.
jacket, so from the smiling photo to the covered up photo,
Mhm.
like where he's just standing, bag straps are different colors. The jacket has no breast pockets, and like they're just saying like there's like some obvious discrepancies.
I'll
Uh,
say that when I saw the grinning photo today, and
mhm,
everybody's like, "This handsome guy." It's funny.
mhm,
Um, when I saw the grinning photo today, I did think it looked different when we saw the photo yesterday, or when it was the camera angle looking down on him. The first thing I noticed was that it almost looked a little bit like a Koberger type of face, where it had the bushy eyebrows and it had the way the nose was sticking out from underneath the mask that looked like the bridge was long. So,
mhm,
but it
mhm.
looked different on the grinning actual image we saw today from that, but it was a completely different angle. So I don't know what that would look like with a mask on it. It was
I
just
thought
what
the
I.
So
colors were off.
so like do the police get it wrong, or are they looking for a scapegoat to be like, hey, look, we got somebody, he was creepy, he was crazy, nothing to see here kind of thing?
How many people are in New York City on a given moment? Like in that part of the town, there's like a bazillion people. I'm off by a few, but like,
Well, they were right in the Christmas tree that day, so there was probably a ton of tourists.
oh yeah.
But but at 7 in the morning, I don't think not everybody's out in the street. But
I just mean, could you send out 12 people in that exact same outfit?
nah,
Could 4 people go out and want to kill this guy together and their brothers to 2 guys? Let's go just say 2. I'll narrow it down. 2 guys go out in the same outfit, basically the same backpack, and go do 2 different things. And one guy shows his face and does stupid shit and gets seen a bunch of different places and rides a scooter and whatever.
if you're professionals,
Right. Or if you watch John Wick,
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, a
you watch a
lot
lot
of people saying it's not the same guy. The smiling photo is two different guys, and they're like even advising him to get like legal, um, some legal help here because I mean I can kind of see it now that I'm looking, now that I'm reading the discrepancies and looking, like I do kind of see that it does look different,
it
like the
looks like a
smiling
different
photo.
size. It looks like a
Yeah,
different shape head.
right.
aren't the jackets different colors too?
Jackets are different colors. There's a drawstring. There are some discrepancies. So, um,
I mean, just the different colors. Well, someone said, "Oh, it's a filter," but
Killer
why
had a
would they use
light
a
gray
filter?
backpack and with light gray straps. Yeah,
And it's on black. He was wearing black, so it stands out the light color.
right.
And it always
Yep.
looks different on different stuff, right? You guys, like my camera or my phone and my computer have different spectrums of color.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. The lighting from
Yeah.
the picture, like, and then it's a picture of a picture, so it's going to be double screwed up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it is the wrong guy and they get the wrong guy, that's going to be a hell of a lawsuit. Someone was bringing up Richard Jewell the other day, like about being falsely identified and how he made like millions of dollars from it. Anyways, that's
That's
one way
the
to
guy
look.
from the Are you talking about the guy from the bombing in Georgia?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, he made millions of dollars from it?
Yeah, he sued them because he they ruined his
Oh, yeah.
life.
True,
Yeah.
they did ruin
yeah,
his life.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You ever see
Yeah.
that movie? The
Yeah,
movie's awesome.
I watched it, I just forgot. We watch a lot of stuff. We watch a lot of
What do
things.
you want?
I, I love the guy who plays it. That's what I like. That guy.
I remember really liking the him as a person after watching it. Like I didn't know his end of the story. I remember it happening.
He's like a mall cop.
But yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He was
He
so
was
into his
great.
job, they like ruined it for him forever.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just like a nice normal
Mhm.
person. Yeah, it was endearing to see him as a human being and see him see that, because it is kind of one of those things like Susan Smith the other day, like her trial, how long had she been in prison, and she's up for parole, which was absurd. And I remember that happening, and that had was 20 years ago or something, right? Or more than 20 years ago.
Yeah,
You know
yeah. That
what?
was she did 20 years, I believe.
Yeah.
You know what I think though is that now we have social media and people that are able to look into these discrepancies, like people like us. I mean, we're obviously whatever, we're not like experts, but like if you get enough hive minds together, everybody's looking at these photos. Like I'm just on X scrolling right now,
Uh-huh.
and they're saying like the UHC shooter guy they unmasked. Um, like it's not the same with the mask on, mask off, because his the space between the eyebrows, like they could actually do like facial spacing because of AI, right?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're like, look at the space between the eyebrows and the thickness. One is whiter than the unmasked tan wrong suspect. Like just little things, but I mean, people are invested and they take it upon themselves too to find out because
Oh, I love
Well,
it.
you know what they'll
it's not
do?
what.
They'll get like 7 to 10 different people that look like that and run their name and see who could have been here at this time that fits
Right.
that description, like, with all the databases. I think
Mhm.
that's what they would do. Not even let the person know. They'll just track a few people, see who they are, and say, oh, we can let him, he's off. It might could be this guy, like, who was in Georgia at this time, you know what I mean? Like, they gotta trace it all.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like, or if they say, we got this guy in New York, we got this guy 6 days in a row in this area walking around, and this looks more like him than this picture. There's a lot of days of camera footage to look into.
No kidding.
I mean, we just
And
we just seen two pictures that they just threw out at us and say this is him in these pictures. They have to have more pictures than just the two. I think, whether
well,
he's
look at
walking down the
Delphi.
street.
Look at Delphi. I
Exactly.
mean, they had that bridge guy photo. It wasn't
Hmm.
even admissible in court, even though it was something that we've all seen so many times over. And they were fighting, the prosecution was fighting about getting it into court because they knew it was wrong and it didn't match Richard Allen, who was only like 5'4". His
Yeah.
dimensions didn't match. But all along, just to prove that they were like on the case, or I don't know, it wasn't an overly followed case by me because it just dragged on. It was so heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But I know lots of people are super into it. Um, yeah, I mean, he wasn't the dimensions of the bridge guy at all in almost everybody's takes, right? But they had it out there for so long and then just made Richard Allen fit, in my opinion. But I don't think he really truly was the bridge guy.
At all. I don't think so
Yeah,
either. I
he's
feel.
so
Yeah, I
short.
don't either.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
Look
he
at
was
that.
so
We're at
short.
44 minutes. You see that?
Oh, are we? Oh, wow. That's
Are
Yeah,
almost
we
3 hour long.
44 minutes.
doing pretty good?
Well, I mean, this is obviously going to go on for a while, but I mean, are they going to grab somebody and just be like, "This is our guy," or what? What happens now with a manhunt? What?
This guy. Okay, so this
Well, I mean,
guy
it's been
now.
3 days. We got to give it a little bit of time.
This guy
You
has.
don't want. They don't want to get the wrong guy.
Okay.
Well, but this guy. Do we? Does he? Is he made like a symbol because of what he did from both perspectives? Like, could he be in more? I mean, like he's would clearly go to prison for life or be killed. I don't know what the New York. You guys don't have death
No,
penalty,
that's murder, and it's murder one. You can't get any
right?
worse than that.
Yeah,
Murder
that
one. Yeah.
you guys don't have death penalty, yeah?
Nope.
No.
But
Right.
that was this when I was watching the lawyer guy. He says, it'll be tough to get a jury because people don't like these CEOs, so like they can
Mhm.
side with this guy just because you know they don't like the CEOs. Like, and it's majority of society doesn't. So it'll be a
Sure.
hard jury pool to get. Like, there was a name for it, like jury nullification, I believe it's called.
Okay, so nobody. They're just like no one's gonna qualify.
I
No, but
think,
that's like with it.
yeah, I think it's a sympathetic case. I mean, if it wasn't, like an organization of radicals type of thing, but if it was more just like out of the passion of being denied or having your family member denied, and you're like, you know what, like you're going down too, kind of thing. Like I think we do make heroes out of those type of people, you know. So
Hmm.
Peter's always got a good point, but he's always thinking like a lawyer, because he's always thinking about the jury and how the jury's going to see things.
Which I would never think of because I would be at the juror. Well,
Exactly.
I looked that up, Eric. So I looked up jury nullification. This is the
Was that
process.
right?
It says the process whereby a jury is in a criminal case effectively nullifies a law by acquitting a defendant regardless of the weight of evidence against him or her. So
Okay, yeah, yeah.
that is yeah, that's not what I said when you just said that, but that is what it is, how you were explaining it. So kind of what I think, because this guy could be a real example for that, for the court system, if that's how that works, to
And
have
if he
that.
gets off, you're gonna have people doing this every day.
Correct, correct. That's what I'm saying. Is he the example?
Yeah.
Is he the
Right.
like, is he the anti-hero or whatever? Is the character? I don't know. That's crazy. That's just a crazy
You
thing to
know,
think about, actually.
Yeah, I mean it's a pretty bad like what do you call it, like to set the standard where it's okay to shoot somebody because you don't like what they do, because
Right,
then we're
right,
shooting
right,
everybody. I mean, at the
they
end of the
turned you
day,
down for health insurance.
yeah,
right, right.
at
I
the end
see
of the day,
that's
like no one would be allowed to live. I was curious because usually there's a divide um on X, especially like conservatives always talk one way, and then you know um liberals talk a different way. Like it seems to me that the conservatives are like, don't shoot him kind of thing, which is a conservative take, right?
sure.
And
Yeah.
like the younger generation's more like, yeah, yeah, that's I'm not mad at that at all.
Yeah, yeah. Like, don't worry about it. Robin Hood's fine. We'll just let him go.
Yeah. I mean, they are douchebags, people that to the AI denying claims, and like that's double. I mean, maybe they will look at their practices after this. I doubt it. It's probably
There's
something
no
that all the other ones are aspiring to be like, if anything.
No kidding. Yeah, that's not like yeah, it's no yeah, they're not hated amongst that part of the industry, I'm sure. They're like, but you don't think they know they have to run like whatever study needs to happen through your business to know that those are what you're doing. They have to know. They have to know those are the percentages they're putting out.
Yeah, that's probably what's how they set their like yearly goals.
Yeah, like they set that amount? Are they like I've worked at call center before and for whatever company, and they have so many things that are secret and so many things that you're basically not allowed to talk about at all. Can't release information at all because but it's like, is it like that with the insurance industry too? Probably, most likely, that they can't share that with like shareholders, that they already know that's how many people they're turning down? Or do they share that with shareholders? Is that more
You ever,
popular?
you ever wonder who was at that meeting he went to? Like he was supposed to be speaking at? Like could it have
Yeah.
been one of those people going to that meeting?
Yeah. Who else was in that meeting? Who else goes to it?
Yeah, yeah. Just like I was like the seat of what do they call it? The manifest of who was at that meeting. Who signed up to go there?
Yeah.
Well, they do have. I'm correct in that, right? He's there. He was there for 10 days, right? So
Yes, no, you're right. Yeah, that's
yeah,
100% right. 10 days
yeah.
in the
So,
hospital. Yep, you're right.
so do you think he was, watching him and just kind of making sure he didn't have security? Or, I mean, that's still a long time, even if he was
No, well,
self-funded. That's a long time.
I don't know how long that guy was there though.
Yeah.
Oh, we're talking about two different
Um,
people.
Yeah, yeah. What?
So the guy was the. So you're saying the CEO was also at that hotel for that many days for a long period of time?
No, that's the question I want to know. How long was
Oh,
he
okay,
in
no,
town?
okay. So then we're back to the guy at the hostel, the shooter.
Hmm.
He's there for that many days, and they said that he was possibly outside the hotel waiting for like for 24 hours before he was there. They said he was like hanging out right outside the hotel there.
Well, that was like my thought that the, somebody in that meeting might have been the person that knew that guy was going to be there and told the shooter, come scope this place out 10 days before. He's going to be here that day.
Yeah.
Who profits the most from this?
Well, if you take the wife away from it, it was funny. I was just reading up on this, and people were like, ironically, his insurance won't cover being assassinated.
Really?
Yeah.
Shut up.
No, I'm sure his life insurance would. I'm sure his life insurance would. But
Oh,
I think that was just kind of like the joke, right?
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think if we're to believe the mainstream story, and I'm sure if we had Rach up here, she would say something different, like it was a psyop or a different guy. I think the different guy is interesting because I think that they might be setting up, like, I don't know, someone to blame for this.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
And it seems to be like almost every comment section has like people divided whether it's the same person or not, right? I mean, it's strange to me that NYPD would like purposely not see that if there was like a discrepancy, right? But
100%. Especially something if you're talking about like the space between eyebrows and things like that, which are significant when you're the person who's sketching out an image of somebody.
right.
I think the person who did it wants credit for it. If he's going to go down, he's going to take credit for it.
Guy
Yeah.
Fawkes. Is that a Guy Fawkes thing? Like V for Vendetta, where everybody wears the same mask?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm saying like I would like if you're going to do kill this guy and that's your motive, like your anti the healthcare system and the way it works, you're going to want your name out there. If the bullet casings that say something like if there's a point to be proven, why wouldn't you take credit for it?
Good
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. Excellent point. 'Cause no, I mean, you don't take the time to write on the shell casings in and of itself was a lot. And he purposely put those shell casings in there the way he put them in there so they came out a specific way. So the three that were visible that had stuff like you know what I mean. He put them in there a certain way because the three unspent ones are the three that had stuff written on them. As so I've heard allegedly, I guess.
Yeah, and he used that particular type of gun to dump those. I mean, it was very motivated for sure. So, yeah, I mean, I guess for now, all we know is this guy's on the run. He's probably out of New York City. That's what it seems
I would
everybody.
hope so.
Yeah,
I would hope so.
right? Yeah.
I would assume he's gone. But I mean, what do you grow? You grow your beard back, you get out of town. But he had that mask on, so all they have is the eyebrows.
We're back to eyebrows. Yep.
We're back to eyebrows, and that's how the mask is on his face. And so, but they found criminals during COVID. You know, I there's got to be such good facial recognition technology out
Somebody
there.
walking around. It's really
It's
loud.
not me.
Oh. Eric's got us on some kind of trip. Okay. Um, what were we saying? Sorry, go ahead.
I'm muting Eric. What was I saying? Now I forget because I thought we were walking around with Eric. Um,
Not anymore. No. We were just talking about like where he goes from here. I mean, yeah, to me it's they have to catch him. I mean, they put out his face. They've done everything except for put out a name. Once you have a face and you're the FBI, I mean, one would think that you'd be able to find it matching, you know, um I mean, sure, it's a smiling photo, but they've got so good with AI now that they should be able to, you know, facial match it, right?
oh, 100%. That's what I was saying. That's what I was thinking when I was talking. I was thinking like every little aspect of your face. Like they've got. I would not be even remotely surprised if you think of it, every single one of us has a photo in for our driver's license, and they have all those photos. It's not like you're a criminal and they have your photo.
Right.
So facial recognition should, if that person, even just that bridge of the nose, eyebrow, whatever, could narrow it down to so many people, to narrow it down to an area, to narrow it down to a smaller area, to cell phone connection, like all the things they could track them with, you know?
Yeah, for
I
sure.
just, that's why, like you said, maybe they do have them already, but I would assume they would want to both be, tell us.
Sorry about that. I had to put clothes in the
Yeah.
dryer.
Yeah. Just kidding.
I didn't realize that. I thought like I was in voice and you couldn't hear it, but
You
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
gotta
And we
get
don't,
things done.
and we don't care. It
Well, I
doesn't bother.
think I think that's a good update for today. We covered what? We covered the bullet, the
Yep.
assassination or not assassination. We covered, is it the guy? Is it not the guy in the photos? That one I'm curious about. I want to hear what other people think about that because now I've read a few things like of the discrepancies that people are
Mm-hmm.
noticing, and
Mm-hmm.
like that terrifies me in some regard because it's like, oh my gosh, what if they just got like the wrong person and they're blasting this person all over saying he's a killer? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's terrifying. Um, and I think, I mean, gosh, we just got to keep following it pretty much. What else are we following, you
yeah.
guys? Anything else that's
Diddy.
popping up for you? Diddy,
Don't forget
obviously.
Diddy. But we don't
Daniel
have.
Penny got. Oh, sorry. Daniel Penny got one of his charges dropped.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. See, that's a different kind of hero for the people. Like that guy was trying to protect the people
Oh, the
from that.
subway shooter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, no, not shooter. He choked the
The
guy.
choker, the guy. Yeah,
Okay.
He he did that
the
choke
chokehold.
chokehold, the illegal chokehold, whatever. And so that I mean that makes sense. Yeah, he he was helping all the people around him. It's kind of hard to convict him of something.
Well, anyway, they took the manslaughter off the jury sheet, so
Good.
now
What
it's
other
just like
charges did he have?
well, no, now he could just be he could be innocent or be charged with negligent homicide.
Okay. Okay. That's I can see negligent homicide. I can see that.
But I don't know too much about that whole thing. I'd have to read into more of that. But
And you got
Yeah.
Lori Vallow. She's what? She's allowed to defend herself.
yeah,
Defend
So
sweet.
herself like she doesn't have an attorney?
she doesn't want to. She doesn't want an attorney. She wants to do it herself. Let her do
No,
it.
she's that's crazy.
Yeah, no, that's what she wants.
That's a crazy thing to
Yeah, I
say.
think
She should
she
automatically be counted out because she's crazy.
she fits that category. Crazy.
Uh-huh.
I think it is honestly like a sign of mental illness to want to defend yourself because who even if you're kind of smart, you don't know the law. Like we didn't know like voir dire and whatnot before we watched trials, right? So it's
Right.
like,
Yep.
how
Well, I
can
did, but
like, and that Daryl Brooks trial, that was bananas.
oh
And he
yeah.
was defending himself and he was a sovereign citizen. I mean, I suggest everyone watch that trial if you're talking about defending yourself, because that judge had the most patience I've ever seen of any judge ever. She was literally a saint.
What about Sarah Boone was going to try to defend herself? Nobody was going to. She was not. There's no attorneys for her. Nobody wanted to defend her.
Well, she kept firing them all.
Yeah, that
Oh
was
man,
crazy.
and like everything she said was so insane. Could you imagine if she'd been able to speak more? It would have been awful. The trial would
I
have lasted another month just from her talking.
I mean, the thing with Sarah Boone is that she wasn't willing to take direction at all. I don't think Lori Vallow is either. I think she got convicted and now she's like, you know what? What's the worst that can happen? I'm already in jail for life. Let's just do this. I'm going to say what I want to say.
I know the only way Lori Vallow gets any leniency from the court is going to be to claim being nut job crazy. You know?
She's never getting out, even if she
Yeah,
went to.
she's
She ain't
already.
gonna.
Yeah, I hope not. I mean,
Oh,
I hope not.
we're at 1 hour. 1 hour, 1 minute, 2 minutes.
So let's wrap it up. And I don't know how we're gonna wrap it up. And in the future, we'll probably wrap it up differently. Maybe. Do you think
Well,
an
when do you
hour
guys
is
want to
good?
talk again? What do you guys want to cover this one
Just thank
again?
everybody, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's thank everybody, but also tell us what you want us to talk about, because we are following all the cases. We are
Yeah.
into, we've got Rach who's super into Liam Payne.
Mm-hmm.
Who probably won't pop up here, but we could definitely talk about it because we have like a whole section where we've been talking about this Liam Payne thing forever.
Yeah.
Apparently, the 911 call came out, the second 911 call came out with Liam Payne, and like there can be heard a woman in the background in Spanish saying, "Help me lift him." So that's something to talk about.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, crazy.
Whoa.
Whoa, spicy.
Whoa. I
Spicy.
didn't hear about that.
We can
Dang.
talk about John Bonet. It's back in the news. We have our thoughts, right?
Yeah.
Um, and something that we're super junkies about is like whatever is breaking, like trial wise. Like we love to watch trials, so we can definitely cover like any and every trial, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'll allow it.
No,
And if
okay.
there's something you want us to look into, just put it in the comments. We'll look into
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throw it in comments on here or in our community page, and we'll chat. And hopefully next time we're in the next 24 hours going to be live with you guys, and we can actually chat with other
And
people.
negative comments are welcome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eric
Please.
will be responding. Yeah,
Yeah, we'd like to direct you to Eric. Go ahead.
for sure.
We're
Hey,
we're
it's
not
YouTube.
perfect yet. We're not perfect yet.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Hit that like and
That was awesome.
subscribe,
Thanks, guys.
please.
Thanks for the
Yeah,
convo. That
thanks
was
for
fun.
coming by. Have a
Thank
good
you.
day. Bye.
All right.